Did Jesus dying on the cross forgive everyone's sins?
Okay, good question. Because the sin of human being need to face the consequence. Human has created sinfulness of himself. The sin have to pay with. You cannot just let it go by just closing one eye. God, the Creator, cannot close His eye and say, okay, never mind, you forgive, you just repented and forgive it. The consequence has been done, so you need to pay up the consequence. Just like a judge. If the judge is really just and righteous, he will not let the criminal go. He just the criminal say, forgive me, please forgive me. If the judge is really righteous, he will say, you need to face the consequence. But the criminal has no way he can pay the debts. Like for example, 1 million or 1 million, he cannot pay. But the judge has money, he can pay. He will come down and take off his robe and come down to pay the 1 million, put it on his hand, and then he can pay and he can go. So that 1 million comes from the judge. So the judge is God. The judge can pay the penalty, but the human being cannot pay because it's too severe. But that's why Jesus has to come down to go on the cross. That's the reason.
Because human can't pay for their sin.
Yeah, human cannot pay for the sin. Imagine the things you have done wrong. You do a good thing to cover the good things. Can it work?
But who is getting? Who's getting paid to?
To who, right? God Himself. So God is just. God Himself is just. He wants to punish sin. He cannot close His eye and say, okay, because you repented, I just close my eye. And okay, good, you can do it. That means He's not just. He's fighting against His own justice. If God is just, He needs to demand the punishment of your sin. The punishment of sin, if it's done, then I can only let you go. Just like the example I gave you. If the punishment of the penalty has not been paid, I cannot let you go. So you need to pay the penalty, the 1 million. You need to pay the 1 million so that I can let you go. But he has no money. The judge has money because the judge realized that this person, he loves that person. He wants to help him out, so he paid the $1 million on his behalf. So this person can go free. This is the same thing that our sinfulness. The Bible says, without shedding of blood, sin cannot be forgiven. Without shedding of blood, because the life is the blood. Life is in the blood. Life is in the blood. The blood needs to shed. Someone had to die on behalf of human sin so that the sin can be forgiven. So there's a justice demand from the Creator. The justice demand, the righteous demand from the Creator. So that God can come in to live with human being. Can you see the concept, the connection? So that's why Allah asks you to do good things, right? But He cannot come in to help you. There's a difference. There's a distance between you and Allah. Anti-different theology.
Can God sin?
Cannot.
So
God is sinful. If God sins, He is not God. God cannot sin because He is righteous. He is also holy.
So you say Jesus is God, right? So He rebirthed Himself, and He knows everything, right?
Yes.
So if He made Himself
lower
just to be killed.
Yeah. He limit himself to a human being to represent human being. He limit himself. He gave up his right as a sovereign God, take up a human being, the form of human being, to come down temporarily come down to represent human being, to take away the sin of human being. That's why He was born into Mary womb. He took up the human form, took up the human flesh from Mary. Take up a portion of our flesh from human being, from Mary. That's why he needs a human body to give birth, so that he can become a human being. But yet at the same time, he doesn't need a man's sperm. Can you see the difference? He doesn't need a man's sperm. That's why he's a new Adam that God created. Jesus is the new Adam because Adam has no father, right? Adam has no father because he's the first human being. So Jesus also has no father because he's the first human being, a new prototype. Born of Mary as a new prototype without the father's descendant, without father, human father. Of course, he has the lineage you can trace on him because of Joseph, adopted father.
Wait, I have a question. So he knew that he'd have to sacrifice himself for sins of humans, right?
Yeah.
But then, wouldn't that also be considered, because he knows he's going to die, wouldn't that be considered suicide?
No. Because he did not die himself. He did not kill himself.
But he knew he was going to die.
He was killed by somebody. The injustice of the worldly system killed him.
Yeah, but he knows everything. So he knows everything. He's going to die.
He knows everything, and there's a plan from the Heavenly Father. It's a plan. There's a plan of the Heavenly Father for him to execute, to redeem humankind.
But then he'd willingly be killing himself.
He willingly lay down his life to let people kill him. He's not killing himself. Killing himself is suicide.
Yeah. But he knows.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he knows his future. He knows his death. He came to die. Actually, he came to die.
True. Yeah. If he came to die, but then suicide is also a sin.
No. Suicide is killing yourself.
Yeah. But
he's not killing himself. It was somebody else killed you. A murder is different from suicide.
Yeah.
So he was murdered. It was not suicide.
But you said
he did not run away. He did not run away because there's a purpose. The purpose is to, just like you said, well, if you have the purpose to redeem mankind, would you run away? If you know that death can help humanity, would you run away? If you know that your death can rescue a lot of humanity, would that be a very honorable thing to do? Sacrifice yourself, and then you can rescue all the mankind.
Yeah, but he has like all power. Right. He can do things that we don't even know about.
Right.
That's why does it really have to be?
That's why it was revealed to us. It was not our understanding. It was not we invented it. Because if we invented, we will not invent those foolish things. Foolish. I call it foolish. The Bible calls it foolish. Jesus knew on the cross is a foolish thing, The Bible calls it. Crucified on the cross is a foolish thing. We don't want that. We want philosophical teaching. It's just wonderful. It's very spectacular. Logical thinking or logical argument is a good thing. Kneeling on cross is a victim. It's a failure. Who wants that? We don't want that. Christianity today look like a failure. And being bullied. Christians to be crucified, being persecuted. A lot of people died. A lot of Christians died because they follow Jesus. It's foolish. But it is a power of God. But to those who believe, it is a power of God. Those people who believe in Jesus' crucifixion, Jesus' death, has been empowered by God to do His will. That's why a lot of people, Christians, willing to be sacrificed. The IS has slaughtered Christians in Syria, in somewhere in the Middle East. You see the picture, the whole red color dress, and then people want to kill them or to slaughter. They willingly die there. Why? Because they follow Jesus. Of course, they have no choice, but they willingly, because they follow Jesus. Jesus was crucified in the same sense. Died out of injustice. Jesus also died of injustice. But these people are not suicidal because they didn't want to. But the injustice of the world killed them. Same thing for Jesus. The injustice of the world, the human being at that time, was wicked, evil, because of Pharisees. All these are wicked religious leaders. They were the ones who killed Jesus. But we don't blame them because we are the same. We are like the Jewish leaders. So we don't blame the Romans also because we are like the Romans. They just represent us to kill Jesus.